Hey there, time-traveling food detectives. Grab your gear, because today we are on a mission to solve the super secret, super delicious mystery of takeaway food.
Okay, so when that yummy meal gets delivered right to your door, who do you think came up with that brilliant idea? Let's find out.
The pizza delivery guy, right? Great guess, but nope. It's way older than that.
What about the first burger stand, maybe? Another awesome guess, but wrong.
You know, to find the real answer, we've got to go back way, way back in time. So buckle up, detectives, because we are firing up the time-o-matic.
And our first stop is ancient Rome. Yeah! Over 2,000 years ago, they had this secret weapon for when people got hungry and were in a super hurry.
It was called a thermopolium. Whoa, try saying that 3 times fast. This was pretty much the world's very first fast food counter. They served up hot food to people who were on the go.
So why were these places so popular? Well, check this out. This is a mind-blowing fact. In the big Roman cities, most people lived in apartments that didn't even have kitchens. Can you believe it? So grabbing food to go wasn't just a treat, it was something they did like every single day.
Okay, get ready for this number. In just one ancient city, archaeologists found this many of those fast food shops: 200. What does that even mean?
That's right, over 200 fast food shops in the city of Pompeii alone. That tells us that getting food to go was totally normal, even way back then.
Whoa! But hang on, our investigation is not over yet. The Romans are a huge clue for sure, but they're not the only ones who had this great idea. You know what that means? It's time to hop back in the time-o-matic.
All right, our next mission is to search for clues all around the globe. It looks like lots of different people in lots of different places had the exact same yummy idea.
So get this, in medieval Europe, people were buying hot meat pies right on the street. Then you've got 11th century China, where you could grab tasty pastries to go. And over in Japan, they had mobile carts selling hot ramen noodles. So cool.
Isn't that amazing? People all over the world were having the same great idea. It wasn't just happening in one place. So let's jump forward in time again.
Okay, we're jumping forward to a time of big, noisy inventions and even bigger cities, the Industrial Revolution. And this is where getting food to go went from just being a good idea to being like absolutely necessary.
So, why the big boom? Well, for one thing, cities got huge, and tons of people started working really long hours in factories. They just didn't have time to go home for lunch, so they needed food that was super fast, super cheap, and super easy.
And guess what? This is when some of our most famous takeaway foods were actually born. Over in Britain, delicious fish and chips wrapped up in paper became a huge hit. And across the ocean, in America, the hamburger began its journey to becoming a fast food superstar.
You guys, our investigation is almost complete. We're seeing how this whole idea has grown and changed over time. Now, let's take one final leap forward in the time-o-matic to find our very last clue.
Welcome to the 20th century. Now this is where we start to see the kind of takeaway and delivery that we'd recognize today, complete with special words and, you guessed it, that iconic box. So did you know that the first time the phrase takeout ever showed up in a book was way back in 1941? It was talking about pies you could take home. So I guess you could say that's our word's official birthday.
And you want to know who made home delivery a really big deal? Chinese restaurants in America. Yeah! Way back in 1922, a restaurant in Los Angeles was already bringing food right to people's doors. How cool is that?
Okay, you know that famous folded takeout box? It was actually invented way back in 1894. But here's the secret. It wasn't made for noodles. It was originally made to hold oysters. Yup, it just so happened to be the perfect leak-proof box for delicious Chinese food. All right, detectives, you have seen all the evidence. We've gone from ancient Rome all the way to modern America. The big question is still out there. Who is the real inventor of takeaway food? Let's line up our suspects one more time. Was it the ancient Romans with their thermopolia? Or maybe the pie makers in medieval London? How about the innovators who made modern delivery so popular? Or was it the inventor of that clever little oyster pail turned takeout box?
Okay, the big reveal is there isn't one single inventor. Case closed.
The truth is, the idea of takeaway food was invented by everyone, for everyone, all across the world. So now that you're a certified time-traveling food detective, I have a question for you. What's your favorite takeaway food? Let me know your findings in the comments below.